Hey guys, I'm Tiffany with Peachy Designs and I wanted to create a getting started tutorial. I know a lot of you are new and would love to create your own designs and you're just not sure where to get started. So I'm going to show you how to create this happy camper designs and it's going to be very quick. I'm going to do it here in 10 minutes or less. Watch that clock. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is Photoshop. I create all my designs in Photoshop. I love Photoshop. It is beyond amazing and it can do anything you can possibly imagine. Um, there are a lot of other programs. There's Canva, a Design Space. I know a lot of you use different software and a lot of people love it, but Photoshop is my go-to and that's the one I'm going to be showing you on. I will show you real quickly. If you go to Adobe Creative Cloud and you look at their plans, you can do a free trial of Photoshop. You can get Photoshop for as little as $10 a month. So it's a very affordable option. I have the entire package because I use a lot of the different programs that Adobe has to offer, but that is not necessary. Okay, so I'm going to hop back over. So once you've got Photoshop installed and you're ready to get started, when you open up your screen, it is going to look like this. And so when you open up the program, it's going to look more like this. You're going to create a new file. This one is a preset because I already have it in there. You won't see this, so you're going to come over to your preset details, and it's important. I mean, what you'll be doing with the design will ultimately decide what size you need to set your design up at. I set mine up pretty large, 12 by 12 on a 12 inch by 12 inch canvas, because that way they can be used for t-shirts, they can be used for a lot of things. You can pretty easily size down graphics and you can size them up just a little bit if it has a high resolution, but you will start losing quality if you try to size it too much. So we're going to start this with a 12 inch. If this doesn't say inches, make sure to set it to inches. So 12 inch by 12 inch, 300 resolution. Make sure that this says pixels an inch. RGB color is good. Let's go ahead and change this to a transparent background. It probably says white if you're just opening this up for the first time. And everything else is good, and you're going to hit create. And so it's going to bring up this blank canvas. These little squares will be transparent. That is what that's telling you. If this show transform controls is not checked, go ahead and check that. So you can see it's unchecked. Go ahead and check that. That will help when we go trying to resize images. So now we're going to go up and we are going to bring in the little camper and the graphic elements we're going to use. If you guys don't have them, you can go to peachydesigns.net. You can go to my website and you can get these free graphics. These are a couple of our free graphics we're going to use to create this. So I went to File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to double click on the camper. And it's going to bring that in. It's going to drop it on a layer, and we're going to click the check. Then we're going to go to Place Embedded, File, Place Embedded again. And I'm going to grab this sun. And it's created a new layer here. If you see this panel over here, this is your layers panel. If you don't see this for some reason, I'm going to go ahead and check that sun. If you don't see this layers panel, you can go up to Windows and then you would click on layers, and that took mine off, so you would be turning it on if you don't already see it. The other thing, if you don't see that you would want to go ahead and turn on, would be your characters. So if you don't see those over here on the side, go ahead and turn those on. So back to our design. So if I want to drop this sun behind the camper, and these layers are represented. Think of this as your stacking graphic elements. Think of it physical. So the one that's on the bottom is literally on the bottom, and then the one on top of that will literally sit on top of that. So you're going to click your sun and then click, hold, and drag it underneath the camper. And then we're going to click on our camper and we're going to just kind of pull that down just a little bit. And then we're going to click back up on our sun. And if you'll notice, there's this box that goes around it. And we're going to click on one of the squares that are in the corner. And sometimes you have to kind of click on it twice. But the second time, you'll click and hold. And then we're going to just kind of drag that square in to make this a little smaller. And then I'm going to click and hold on the sun just to kind of pull it down a little. When you have it where you think it's about right, you're going to click on the check. I'm going to grab my camper and I'm going to pull it up a little bit. And I want to make it a little smaller, so I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to make it a little smaller and pull it back down. And I'm just going to kind of move it around until I get it where I think it looks good. I think that looks pretty cute. I'm going to click the check. Now I clicked over here on the side where it wasn't on anything to deselect, and I'm going to come off to the side. I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag, and this is going to allow me to select both of these images. And I'm going to click this box on the side, the square on the side, and hold. And I'm going to make these just a little bit bigger. And then check. And you can also kind of see here, so this is how you know I selected both of them. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to just kind of pull that back into the box. And I'm going to center this design within my canvas. I'm going to click off to the side to deselect, and I'm going to go over here to this toolbar and I'm going to click on the T, which is your type tool, and then I will come down to the bottom underneath my camper and click, and then it'll pull up a text box, and I'm going to go ahead and type what I want it to say. Now yours will probably not, if you're just getting started, have this cute little font here. And where you get your fonts, that's a whole nother video that we could do. But whatever fonts that you use, if you're going to be using them in digital designs to resell, it is really important that you make sure that you have that you have fonts that you have the full rights to use those. So there's a lot of options for that, and we can go over that at another time. But I'm going to take my happy camper and I'm just clicking and holding until I get it where you can see this pink line that's going to kind of pull up, and you can see, like, if I slide it over, that's gone. And when I come back now, I can see that that's centered under my little camper and my sun there. And so I like this. I think it looks good. So I'm just going to reselect the whole thing, and I'm going to pull it down just a little bit more so that it is centered within this. I'm going to click off to the side to deselect. I will show you real quickly when we were talking about the fonts. And so if you want to change your font here, you're going to click once you type in your text, you'll double click on this to select it. And then I had you open up that character right here, the character styles, and you can see the fonts. They're also right here as well. And here you can this is where you can change your fonts. I might have installed a few fonts. Some of us are kind of font junkies. Most of us are font junkies. And if you want a different one, you just would select that in your menu. And it's nice because it gives you a little preview of it and you can see how it would look. And then you would just click it. You can also resize your font here using it. It's more of a manual process. And I just typed in the number I wanted it to be and I hit enter on my keyboard. And then you would click check. And then you would want to make sure you had your move tool selected, and you can come down and you can just recenter that. And once you're happy with your design, you're going to click File, Save a Copy. You will navigate to wherever it is that you would like to save your design. and we're going to save this as a PNG file. And this is really important because when you save it as a PNG file, it will maintain this transparency in the background. And this is creating a flat image. So when we do this, it's going to merge all of these layers on one layer. And so that's really important. So we are creating a flattened PNG image. And then you would just give it a name. And then you would click save. And you have created your first design. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to the group or email me. The Facebook group's probably the best place to ask these questions, but you guys just feel free to ask questions and I will do my best to help you. Thank you.